BC chisel brush here. And now we're using the chisel brush. Let's go ahead and choose a different point here. We'll choose that brush tip 8, and now we can chisel through. Now there's a couple caveats. Number one, I have pretty high resolution, and I also have it's subdivided here. I'm going to go ahead and just re-dynamesh at a higher resolution. It's going to get rid of my subdivision level. There we go. So now we're using our chisel brush. Again, if you want more resolution, just hit Control D, and that'll subdivide your object up, like so. So it's a couple of things with this brush. If you want to go in a straight line, what you can do is start dragging your brush out, then hold down Shift. That'll give you a green line, which goes from, you know, whatever, how many degrees you want, and then you let go of Shift, and it'll go down. Now you're going to see it didn't go down all the way to my object here, so I'm going to go to my brush. No, it's probably my stroke. Let's go to stroke here. And we'll go to open up. We don't need that. So lazy mouse is what we're looking for. Lazy snap we'll get to. Lazy radius is, I think, what we're looking for here. So we change this lazy radius down to a smaller number and then start dragging out. And then I let go. You're going to see it snaps all the way down to the bottom. So just turn your lazy radius down. Basically what your lazy radius does is put a little rubber band behind your object. So you get a smoother curve. The longer that is, the longer the rubber band, or the higher the number is, the longer that rubber band's going to be. But if we go over here to our lazy radius and bring that down, and then again start dragging, and then hold down Shift, and then it will go ahead. Oops. So start dragging, hold down Shift, and then let go. It'll snap all the way down to the bottom of your thing here. So this is the chisel brush. You're going to see if I don't let go of my stroke, I can cross over perfectly, and everything looks great. However, if I want to do like a straight line to a curved line, and I start dragging down, I go straight, and then it's like, okay, I want to do a curved line now, and I curve this out. See how it kind of does a crappy thing? Or if I go across here and it cuts across, I'm like, oh, I want to cut across here now. See how it kind of mangles your mesh? There's a couple things we need to do here. Number one, we have our mesh here. Let's go to morph target. We're going to store a morph target. And now as we drag through, it'll of course drag through here, and then if I drag through again, it'll go ahead and meet up. If you want to stop, let's see, undo, we got a morph target stored. So if you want to go, like I said, start dragging and then hold down Shift and make a straight line, and then start from the end of this thing, you're going to see by default, let's go ahead, make a line and then start from this end line. It'll go ahead and, it should go ahead and snap because we have our lazy snap turned on. But we might want to turn our lazy radius back up. There we go. So you're going to see I don't even need to be that close to the end of this in order for it to just snap from it. So see how I'm way over here and I start dragging? It's going to snap to that distance here. Pretty cool. So you can really quickly just go through here and just make a straight line, and then make a straight line, and make a curved line. And then you can also pull through because we have morph targets turned on. You can also change your Z intensity if you want to, you know, not cut in so much. Like so. We'll go ahead and leave that up just a bit. Now, you're also going to notice that my brush is getting, it's going from, like, you can make it go from thick to thin to thick here, which is kind of a problem if you want to go like, I want to cut in this detail. You can also hold down Alt and bubble it out. By default, it's on Z sub. So you can pull in one, and then you want to go from here, and it's like, wait, I wanted those to match up. Two ways you can go about this. Number one, you can use your mouse, and when you use your mouse in ZBrush, it just turns everything on or up to the max here. So we can tap S to get our broad draw size in here. And we can just start dragging in here, and then start dragging, and then start dragging, and then start dragging. And it'll be great. But using your mouse is sometimes a pain. So what I'm going to do with this brush selected, go down here to Brush, and then we're going to go to our tablet pressure. And for this brush, you're going to see Z intensity is already maxed out, but Z size isn't. So if I go over here to the Z size and I drag this all the way up, now when I use my brush, it's like I'm using a mouse. Or if I'm using my tablet, it's just maxing it out. So it's not great for brushes like H-Polish. You're going to want H-Polish tablet pressure because that thing really needs tablet pressure. But for this type of brush, I would just go ahead and just max that out. So now you can go through here and add these details. So what I did for the back of this gun in particular is I kind of positioned my camera here, and I turned off, did I turn off Symmetry? I don't remember. I start dragging, hold down Shift, and then I hold down Alt, and then I let go of Shift, and then I just pulled this straight across here. Although I may have had X Symmetry turned off. So I go turn off X Symmetry because I know I'm going to be dragging a straight line. I just don't want to double it up and get artifacts. So I'm going to hold down Shift, hold down Alt, hold on. There we go. Let go of shift. And that'll pull across. And then all I have to do is do a quick mirror and weld across the X symmetry. Let's go ahead and delete lower. It's not going to let me mirror that if I have subdivisions here. Mirror and weld across the X. And that'll mirror it the wrong way. So if I want to do the long side, what way are we oriented? Oh, you know what? I'm looking from the back of the weapon. So what I can do to fix that, all I can do is go to deformations, mirror across the X, and then mirror and weld across the X axis. And then I'll go ahead and get both of those. In this particular case, it might be easier. Oh, you know what? There's one more thing we can talk about. Another thing we can probably do, I think, is we can just drag out a straight line here. And then if we want to trying to remember if we do, so if we go into the stroke menu here, I didn't do this, but it probably would have made more sense. So we got the stroke menu here. You're going to see under modifiers, you have replay last and replay last relative is shift 1. If you do replay last with 1, it's just going to replay your stroke over and over again. If you do replay last relative, if you move your cursor down and then do shift 1, it'll go ahead and replay your last stroke relative to your previous one. So let's go ahead and let's do our starting point here. Shift 1, shift 1, shift 1. And now I can do our quick mirror, oops, delete lower, mirror, mirror and weld. And now those are all a little more evenly spaced.